Hi guys, welcome back to Haunted Shelf, or welcome if you're new. My name's Heather. This is my cozy gothic side of the internet where I talk about all things crafty and bookish. And in September I am setting myself a couple of challenges. So, SHELF-TEMBER. So my intention is to read only books that are off my shelf that I physically own. If I can get them from the library through audiobook, great, I will use those as well. However, I have to own a physical copy of the book for it to count. I am also going to, as I am a crafter, I'm going to do STASH-TEMBER as well to get some of the stash down. So if you saw in my recent video, I went through and looked at sort of frogging or finishing a whole bunch of yarn projects I had, and it came out a 50-50 split of what I will finish and what I have frogged. Some of that also then leads in, I am going to grab a big bag. And put stash yarn in it. And I have to use this yarn up before I'm allowed to do anything else. I'm not allowed to start any new projects that need other yarn that is not in this bag. My aim is to go through 10 skeins of yarn and create complete like 12 items, because I don't know just how many items I can make with what's in there. So first I have a granny square crocheted. I'm crocheting a reading nook blanket out of this colorway. It's a Karen Skinny Cake in Spectrum. I have to use this one up entirely, but I am already almost through the first one. So this is what it looks up. This is how mine's crocheting up using a 4.5 mil. Because I like the idea of just having a nice easy breezy blanket to kind of put over my feet while I am reading. What I will do now is I'm going to alternate between what I'm going to try and complete in terms of crochet as well as the books that are on my radar. I'm a bit of a mood reader, so hopefully I can get through to these and some extras as well. That's project 1. So book 1 is A Dark and Drowning Tide. So this is Dark Academia, I believe. Lorelei Kessler is a folklorist with a quick temper and an even quicker wit. And it's on the exploration with 6 eccentric nobles in search of a mythical spring of untold power. The king wants to harness the fabled waters to source from which magic flows, to secure himself through the rain, and Lorelei is determined to prove herself. The small cost is to make her dreams come true, to become a naturalist able to travel freely throughout the lands. So there's a harrowing start, there's murder aboard, and Sylvie von Wolf is also there. So it's like Sapphic, Lush, we'll be getting to that. There is also, because I'm taking part in the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, and there's an anthology I really want to read called The Gathering Dark that I might be reading very, very soon, or getting a copy gifted to me. But I do have the audiobook, and that is I have to read the anthology and then read a full-length novel by all the authors that are in there. So this is one. The next project I have is, some of these are actually in project bags, which really helps. This is in a Wild Out West swag bag. So it was a romance readers event that I signed out as an author. And this is going to be another granny square, but this one's going to turn into a cocoon shrug for my stepmother for her birthday in October. This colorway, because it's pinks and grey, pinks and like blues and whites and very girly to an extent for her. I'm doing this one with a 5mm hook. I did start making something else with it and it just wasn't vibing, so I frogged that, I think. So there was 3 different parts, but this is where I'm at so far. Her birthday's in October, so I probably will prioritize this one over the others because I then have to seam it together. So I do have this bit of the skein that I'll probably use to put it together on my hook. The next book I have, oh, sorry, you just moved, also part of that anthology. It's The Gathering Dark Folklore, and that is the Foxglove King, book 1 in the Nightshade Crown by Hannah Whitten. I really want to read this one. So we've got its Gilded, Gothic and Romantic Epic Fantasy series. So Law has been living by her wits since she was a child, running poisons for the cartel that took her in, avoiding the intention of the law and keeping her illicit affiliates for death magic a secret. When a job goes wrong and Laura is captured by the sainted king's warrior monks, she expects death, but she has the king has other plans. So death magic up my alley. Prisons, warrior monks just sound awesome. Definitely going to dive into this one. I also do have the second book, so if I really get into this and enjoy it, I will probably push through and finish the next one. This is also just clearing out some of my stash. This is a velour biscuit velvet that I actually do need to make into a cake. I'm going to just make scrunchies, and I probably will start making them as teacher gifts for my daughter's teachers, because they're coming up to, well, it's the September. We live in Australia, so Christmas and end of the school year. So thank you gifts. So probably make those for her teachers. It's just very beautiful. Also gets it off my stash. I don't know. This is the last I have of it, so it would count as the skein. And then the next book we have is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. And it's These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. So it's set in the year of 1926 and Shanghai. There's a blood feud between two gangs that run the cities, Red, and leave the world in chaos. You've got Juliet Kay, the former flapper, returned to assuming the heir of the Scarlet Gang and a network of criminals. Only their rivals, the power of the White Flowers, have fought beyond. And then Roma is the first love and first betrayal. The story. I'm going to dive into that one. I also do have, I want to say Our Vicious Ends, I think is the second book in this one. Do have just another reading blanket, popcorn read, and that is, but I'm doing this in double crochet, and that is just, seems like the right width. And I do have another one of those skeins in here. The only thing about this one is I don't think it's going to be big enough after I've done that, so I may then need to add another like sport. I think this is Spot Saver by this is Spot Saver from Spotlight. It's their 10 ply 1 and 200 gram bags. I don't know what colorway this is. It's just fun. Probably will put it with a dark grey or a light grey, or maybe even pull a color out of it. I don't know yet, but that's the next one. Next one, we're going to Vampires and Trials. And it's going to be my first Carissa Broadbent. So we're going to do The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I have the first 2 of this one, and I also do have the 6 Scorched Roses. So if I kind of maybe into a Carissa Broadbent kick, I'll go through that way as well. So we are following an adopted human daughter of the Nightborn Vampire King. She's carved out a place in the world to kill. Her only chance to become something more than prey at the center is to enter the legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. So that is also, I want to study how this is done in terms for writing, in terms of it's the Crowns of No Access series, but they're done in a set of duets. So really interested to see how Carissa Broadbent works through sort of multiple kind of locations across Nyaxia. I then have, I'm really on a blanket kick. It doesn't mean I'm going to finish them all, but I'm on a blanket kick. And that is a 6-day star blanket by, I think this is all the setup rows done. I've got to double check because I don't want to frog it because it took me a while to do. But I've got this. I also want to make these because they just seem awesome. So I'm hoping between these 2, because they are the same but different, like variegated yarns, I will have enough. So this is about 400 grams of yarn, and I think it works out at 600 or 700 meters. So if not, I do have a light grey from my stash that I will add to it, but I definitely need to make sure I finish these 2 before I even think about getting extras added in. It's more an author, because I know I've got this one and I also do have Rapunzel retelling, so let me know which one I should go with. That's Sarah A. Parker. So whether or not I should dive into the Moonfall series with When the Moon Hatched, or if I should jump into the completed trilogy of To Bleed a Crystal Blue. That I know is like a Rapunzel reimagining, but I'm pretty sure it's on my shelves inside the house. This one's here. So it's an assassin and a rebellion. Thoreau's job is complete the orders and never get caught. Her rival, bounty hunters. Okay, so it's bounty hunters, going to noble, crushed by a dragon rider. So we're all into dragons, getting our dragon kick in with that one. The next thing I have is, I've seen them all around and they're actually in this book I borrowed from the library. I will actually be buying myself a copy of this. This is very good. It's the No Sew Mini Anigurumi by Gina Tahu, and that is to make a bee. So I'm trying not to show you her patterns to make this bee, because I have this variegated Bernat to get through. I have black, and I have this like speckled white spotty lot more. I think these are just the balls like cakes I had at hand. I do have bigger ones. I think I just kind of cake them up on my ball winder, and then once they get big enough I like cut them. So not tightly, so I may end up just doing all those. It is also a Bronchiosaurus in this book. I have made one already, but to me it looks more like a Loch Ness monster. It's just beautiful and so cute. And I will be using this blue cake to make it, so I will have another one of those. I also want to make another mandrake that I've made before, and that is from Red Mill Crochet. The only issue is I don't think I've got enough to make all 3 leaves for it. Probably got enough in this to make one more leaf, and I do have the brown for the body. So what I might do, because I'd actually need to go buy the green, is put this away until October. Let me know if I should just hold off making the mandrake until October when I can get more leaf colours. So they are all the books for Shelf-Tember I'm aiming for, and all the projects I'm aiming for. What are you most interested in hearing my thoughts about? Sorry, what I also have is, I'm going to start one now just because I don't think I've got enough for each of the projects, but this is going to be a long ongoing thing. But to get them out of my stash, just because I'm trying to clear through my stash as well, is I'm going to make a scrappy blanket. I've got this big grey that I don't know what to do with, and this one, or should I try and make another Beth McKnitt scrappy 6-day blanket? Let me know. Sorry, I also keep forgetting, is I am also in the midst of making what I call a hunter. Let me show you. So this is Hunter. This is a character in my book, her Daffodil Queen. So, and I do have crafted by Nikel's battle weapon kit set. And I want to make some of those in purple and black. So this is also going into my stash, and I have to start making anything new from any of that until I've completed all those. Promise that's the last interruption. Bye. Until next time, let's use our voices to promote positive change. Thank you, and bye-bye.